Alright guys, I'm back with another Jeep video today, and I'm excited. We're actually taking all the lift, shocks, wheels, and tires, and we're headed to American Wheel and Tire to install all of them. But first I want to give a huge shout out to HQ Off-Road. I'll put their link in the corner. They're the ones who got all these parts sent right to my door for me, got me great prices, and everything was shipped super quickly in great packaging. So shout out to HQ Off-Road. I appreciate them for helping out with this build. And let's get headed over to American Wheel and Tire and see what they have planned. Alright, so we just pulled into American Wheel and Tire. You can see right there. I'm gonna squat right here with this Ruby. Shout out to Pam for driving the Tundi for me. I'll put her Instagram in the corner. Y'all go follow her on Instagram. Yo! Alright, we're mounting the beadlocks right now. How's it going? Is this the first wheel?
Yeah, it's the first wheel right now.
Alright, cool. So far, so good with it?
So far.
Alright, awesome. We're gonna go take a look at the lift now.
Yeah.
So this is the current progress update. We got the Falcon shocks installed. We had to cut out a little bit for the fender liner so that we could fit the reservoir. The RK arms from Rock Crawler, those are all going in. We got the new for the sway bar links. And then we're gonna have a new steering stabilizer from Falcon installed as well. This side we're waiting to do the second shock. So you can see the one side has the shock, one side is still waiting for the shock. And everything else looks good so far. What's cool about these is they're the fast adjust Falcons. And so I can set these to different softness positions. So I'm gonna set them to the first position because I was told that's the best setting for the ride quality with these RK springs. So this is another customer's Jeep Gladiator. It's all stripped down right now. They're about to do a bed liner to it, Kevlar coat the whole Jeep. They've got a booth over there, right inside there, where they do all the Kevlar liner. So if there's anything done to it by tomorrow, I'll see if I can get an update on that. But I don't know if it'll be done by then, but looks pretty funny when it's all bare bones. Even the interior is all stripped out. Check out this Jeep. It's got like a military green bed liner. I like this two-tone that they got going with it. It looks kind of military. Okay, so now we got the Falcon steering stabilizer installed. And then on this side, we got all the front suspension finished up. So I set the Falcon shocks to the softest setting. As you can see, there's 3 initial settings. And then there's a firmness, softness knob. So I set it all to 1, I believe. I may be doing it wrong. I'll probably have to check the instructions again. But we got all this finished, sway bars all connected, measured up. We gotta tighten a couple more things. But now we're heading to the back. And Randy's just finished disassembling all the stock lifts, and now we're putting in the RK components. So far everything's looking good. We got the axle up on the lift. And check out the beadlock. First one's all finished, mounted up. We're running a Milestar 38 by 13.5 with the Raceline 17-inch beadlock with the aluminum ring. Check out this Raptor. Alright, so we got the 2 RK control arms installed. We measured them up prior to installing them, made sure they're the right length, and now installed them, and then we're gonna grease them up at the end. As you can see, this side has no control arms. We just removed the OEM ones right there. And we're about to install RK on this side as well. Everything's all free loose hanging on that jack right now. So we're gonna wrap this up and then torque everything down to spec. And the wheels are also being mounted as we speak, so we're almost done with the wheels too. We're 3, we have 2 more to go. Alright, so small little hiccup again. RK forgot to send us the U-bolt for the track bar bracket. So I ran to Home Depot and I grabbed that one and these 2, and it turns out that that one just barely fits. The thread's barely long enough to get in. So I'm still gonna call RK and get the right size just for the future, but I can swap that out on my own. It should be safe to drive right now as it is. But we're getting the track bar mounted up. We got all the control arms finished on both sides now. Looking good. And then we'll update you once we have all this finished. All right, the front wheels are on, and dang, do they look big. I know it's super lifted right now because they're hanging in the air, but still, these are just freaking massive. We just put a little bit of layer of spray paint on here so that it's not rusty, kind of make it look cleaner, because the race lines don't do hubcaps, at least not from factory. So we got one wheel done, everything's tightened up here. 2 wheels done, and we're still finishing up the components in the rear before we can put the springs and wheels back on. But man, let me know what you guys think. Do you think I should do this ring in a sting gray or maybe a red ring, or leave it aluminum, raw aluminum like that? I don't know. I'm digging the aluminum look right now. What do y'all think? Here's a closer look of what I meant by we sprayed the hubs. So normally, you know, you have rust all around here because it's just open steel, right? So we just took a couple layers of spray paint and hit it with a couple layers just so that we don't have exposed rust when we put the wheel over it. It's gonna be a cleaner look like we had in the front. I'll show you one more time. It just kind of blends in more to the wheel, the blacks and silver setting. So from far away, you see it looks all nice. Better than looking with a little rust spot in the middle. So that, I think that if you're doing raceline beadlocks or any beadlocks that have an exposed hubcap like that, my recommendation would be to do a couple layers of spray paint before you throw your wheels on. It would make it look cleaner, and it would just keep the rust out a little bit better too. Also, one thing to keep in mind for these RK control arms is you do have to grease them up because of the joints they use. They're very high quality joints, and they do need greasing. They don't come pre-greased. So you just need a grease gun. You got to hit each joint with the grease gun, fill them up with grease, and that'll keep them lasting longer. What's nice about these RK control arms is that you can actually rebuild them. You can disassemble the joints and rebuild the joints, clean out the grease, whatever you got to do, rebuild it, reassemble it, and then these things should be good for the life of the Jeep, honestly. I mean, I don't think I ever have to replace them. So, but we do need to replace this U-bolt whenever that comes in. RK, I need you to send me one of those. Good thing HQ Off-Road is going to help me out with contacting RK. Shout out to HQ Off-Road. Alright, so as far as the spring bushing goes, we were missing one, and so instead of reusing the stock little Mopar one, which is this one, instead of reusing this thin one, as you can see, we got a kind of beefy one on this side, which RK sent, but they forgot to send the one for this side. So you can see the comparison. So we got this one. Randy had an extra one. Do you know what lift this was from?
I think it's the factory one off of the Gladiator.
Randy says this is the factory bushing on the Gladiator. Whereas this is the factory one from a JL Rubicon. And so as you can see, it gives us maybe a centimeter more of clearance. So I should be riding pretty much even, because I do know that the driver's side was already thinner than the passenger side from RK. They're not the same size pucks. So this is just a tiny bit thinner than that one. So I think we're gonna fit just perfect, honestly. So shout out to Randy for keeping extra parts. You the GOAT. All right, so now we got the new sway bar links mounted, and we had some Falcon spacers for the sway bar so that they can clear the shock. And obviously, as you can see, the beautiful Falcon 3.3 shocks are in. We're gonna set these to the softest setting as well, because that's what RK recommends when you're running this lift with the Falcon shocks. We threw on these little guards as well. We should protect from any debris or mud and whatnot whenever I'm crawling at the malls. And then last, we got to do that spare tire bracket as well, but that should be real easy. We'll do that once it's on the ground. So here's one thing to keep in mind with aftermarket wheels is your stock lugs are probably not going to fit into the wheel, so you're going to need to upgrade to thinner ones. As you can see, these are my stock lugs. You can see that they're not fitting. So they make these thinner star pattern lugs, and those are very strong as well, but they fit right into the, if I can catch a thread, they fit right in, and then you can see they look clean. So now we got all this lift is done, wheels are on, we got to do the spare still. So I'll get back to you once it's all bolted up and we got it on the ground. All right, we're finally lowering it, putting it on the ground, get the initial fitting.
On its own weight.
It is on its own weight. Dang, it's got some poke too. I love that look. Oh, this thing looks badass, Randy. What do you guys think of this fitment? I'm gonna get further back. I got some good clearance. Just a side note, we left out this plastic guard that normally fills the fender liner to the bumper because it kind of sticks out a little, and everyone was saying that on 38s it does rub. So I just said hell with it and I kept it off. That's what everybody on Facebook and the forums was doing. So until I get aftermarket fender liners or I split my fenders, this is the setup we're gonna be doing. It should be good enough to get me to college and back for sure. And I should be able to do a good amount of intermediate wheeling with this. Nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to break any parts. Randy out here does some crazy stuff with his Jeep, he was telling me. Yeah, this is the last thing that we have to do. We gotta unbolt this bracket, and these brackets are gonna go behind here, and then we're gonna rebolt them to the new studs that they've got.
Oh, okay.
You see, it's kind of just like a raising thing, so I can get clearance for the new wheel. Hopefully this works. All right, so we got this Mopar raising bracket installed. You can see right there and there. And it actually, we just did a test fit. It barely cleared the 38. Now we're gonna put in the little mushroom things that go here to prevent vibration. We raised the third brake light. You can see, you go up to the bottom hole and re-drill that now as the top hole. And then put these screws right back in, lock everything up, and then we're gonna mount the fifth wheel. Hopefully everything goes planned. Andy, thank you. The Jeep is all finished. We got everything put on. We're about to go for a test drive so we can test, make sure all the driveline parts are good, all the control arms and steering is all good. And then we're gonna fine tune, torque everything down now that it's got some weight on it. But as you can see, the Mopar bracket, we used all the spacers included in the kit. We raised the taillight, and if you look at the clearance on the rear, we barely cleared the 38. You cannot go anything bigger than the 38, like barely the 38. So we got lucky here. I'm probably gonna eventually upgrade that. I know I need to, but it should be fine for the time being driving on the street. But what do you guys think? Looks huge. Randy's getting it clear off the jack right now. Alright, so Rock Crawler sent me this nice little vinyl decal. I think I'm gonna throw this onto the front of the windshield. Right there on the top, kind of like a windshield banner. But first I got a bunch of dead bugs and stuff on there. I'm gonna go wipe this off and then I'm gonna apply the decal. Changed my mind, I decided to represent American Wheel and Tire on the windshield. It's gonna match the red with the Rubicon. About to install it now. Alright, shout out to my man Jay, helping me install the AWT decal on top. Get a better angle at it. Looks good, matches with all the red accents, and we're about to go take it for the first test drive. All right, so we're taking it out for the first drive officially. Randy's backing it out right now. He's gonna drive because he knows what to look for. He said we're gonna have to adjust the steering one last time, but I'll let you guys know how it rides. I still gotta adjust the Falcon shocks a little more. Right now, I believe they're in the softest setting, but I'm not 100% sure. I might have to double take that. We'll see. I'm gonna hop in with Randy. Dang, it's tall now. All right, so as you can see, steering is off right now. That's what we're testing for. We're about to head back and adjust. Which part is it that we're adjusting?
Drag link.
Drag link. Okay, so we gotta adjust the drag link. Randy said that we got the steering stabilizer set to the stiffest setting right now because we're running a heavier bead lock with the 38, so we want to have as much support as we can, and so that should help with that. But that's also fully adjustable, just like the Falcon shock, so I can always play with that down the road. It's just a knob. But we're gonna head back and adjust that steering system and make sure everything else is staying bolted, tightened up, and then I think we should be good to go. It rides pretty smooth so far, but we still have to break everything in, of course. All right, so Randy's under here, adjusting the steering component. You can see the Falcon stabilizer right there. I'm gonna head inside the car and I'm gonna tell Randy once the steering wheel is all straightened up. Go again. Wrong way, wrong way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Almost there. Stop. Okay, now we're dead center again. And you will get a little like traction light come on the dash. That's just because the steering wheel is so far off that it's thinking that you're driving with your wheels like this while going straight, like you're in snow or something. So that light is normal. That light's supposed to go away right after you straighten the wheel. It's just because it was too much out of alignment. But now we got it straightened. I think we're good. We're gonna give it another test. All right, I'm just getting a video of Randy while he backs it out so y'all can kind of see how big it actually is. Pictures don't really do justice when you look up 38s, but damn, 38s are actually big. Looks like a monster truck or something. It's crazy. So far, no rub. No rub on full lock?
I didn't hear nothing.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
Looks good.
surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I give this one more try. This usually doesn't happen first try. It takes a couple tries, and it really helps if you have a buddy. So we're just a tiny bit off still. Waiting for Randy to loosen this. Stop. Looks dead even to me. So this is what I was saying. These parking sensors get triggered by that wheel because you see it's sticking out so far now. But once you press that button, it fixed that issue completely. And luckily that button has a memory setting on it, so it saves the button. You don't have to repress it every time like the auto start stop button, which I know some of you guys probably hate that button because I do too. I'm probably gonna code that button out. Damn, it looks so good. Ride's really good for mud terrains on 38s, I'm not gonna lie. It's almost the same as stock. Thank you, HQ Off-Road. Check them out right here. So I just wanted to finish up the video by giving a shout out to, first of all, HQ Off-Road. I'm gonna have their link in the description. And then also American Wheel and Tire for helping me install everything. I'll also have their link in the description. Thanks to everybody else who helped with installing the parts and getting me the parts. I appreciate all the help. I'm gonna do another video after this, doing a whole rundown of each part, why I chose each part, and probably I'll do a review on everything after I've got a few thousand miles on each part. So I'm about to head off to College Station. I'm gonna drive it up there right now. Everything should be good. We got all the tires adjusted to the right pressure, and I'm